let's go right into it, because what a weekend it was, especially in the NFL. And I just mentioned it. You did the Carolina-Cleveland game. What stood out to you, not only in that game, but just all of week one?
I think it's pretty obvious. Special teams need to be special. Well, you're mentioning my game, obviously, which was won on a 58-yard field goal by a rookie kicker who was drafted in the 4th round, and people were questioning, why would you draft a kicker in the 4th round? Because of that. Cade York comes in with ice running through his veins, nails the 58-yarder, but it wasn't just the game that I was at. Our director, Suzanne Smith, was at a crazy game in Cincinnati where you saw the long snapper get hurt, and then Mr. Money from a year ago, Evan McPherson, misses an extra point, misses a field goal, or gets an extra point blocked, misses a field goal. There were, in fact, 6 games decided this weekend by a kick, and there were 11 potential game-winning kicks over the entire weekend. Only 3 of them were made. So get yourselves a kicker.
Well, first of all, I laugh because we're talking kickers to start the
This is how we're leading things up.
Okay?
All right. Because they're special. You need special players.
And I was at the Chiefs game, and they lost their kicker, Harrison Butker, who, by the way, was kicking a 65-yard field goal in warm-ups, and he turns his ankle, and who runs out there to fill in for him? Justin Reed, their safety, okay? By the way, he made the field goal.
Oh, he did?
But anyway, Harrison Butker did get back out there.
But that's part of it. When I think about kicking, sometimes I think about heartbreak, because that's probably how a lot of fans and teams feel when it goes left or it goes right. But more than anything, the heartbreak that comes in sports is injury. And that's what stood out to me most thinking about week one. And it's a critical part of any team's hopes of making sure. It's always the caveat of if we're healthy. But for 2 teams in particular standing out to me, both Dallas and Pittsburgh, the thought of we'll see what the timeline looks like, but losing Dak Prescott, the first game, week 1 of the year, and you have so much buildup and anticipation for a season. TJ Watt for the Steelers. Again, we'll see what that looks like. Also, Najee Harris, someone to keep an eye on as well. But there's so much buildup in the offseason, in the preseason, expectations, what we're going to see out of these teams, out of these players. And you think about it, obviously, for the individuals themselves, for the team, the coaching staff readjusting, and also even the front office or ownership. What do we want to do? Do we need to make some moves? And for it to happen in the first week of the season, hearts go out to everyone. Fans in particular, though.
It is the roller coaster, because Mike Tomlin, the Steelers head coach, did just sound a much more optimistic note about TJ Watt. Yeah. But I can tell you there were Steelers fans after that win in Cincinnati that were ready to lay down and give up.
And think about the Cowboys. So much expectations going into this season, and now all of a sudden you lose Dak. Just had surgery on that hand on Monday, and they're not putting him on IR, which I thought was really interesting because they want to keep him around and hope that he can get back quicker than that 4 to 6 week timeline. But and they're not.
Sometimes that makes it tougher, though, of which direction you're going or how you're going to proceed.
And it's relatively new offense. They're trying to get in who's going to step up, and now you don't have your leader. It's going to be really difficult. I have that game against Cincinnati this weekend. Should be interesting.
Well, let's talk about a healthy team, the Bears. Good to see them out there. They had a great start. They got great momentum going into the season, 1-0. I mean, it's a huge confidence builder for someone like Justin Fields, who has struggled in his previous 2 seasons. But when we look at this game and they look at the offense, they started connecting. They started gelling. They got their offense going. Defense stepped up, as they always do. But the beauty of this game is as it wore on, there was a lot of slipping and sliding going on out there. There was, oh my goodness, the field. Look at this field here. And
I was just happy I wasn't
boys will be boys as they go for the slide. You got to love it there. But a good opportunity to see the Bears get off to a healthy and strong start.
No doubt. And who else got off to a strong start? Well, the Kansas City Chiefs. Not really surprising, right? But they all season long heard about the loss, in the AFC Championship to the Bengals, and a lot of negativity surrounding not only the team because of the loss of Tyreek Hill. Could they, this offense function without him? They heard it all. And then negativity surrounding Patrick Mahomes for the first time. And I thought what was so interesting is Andy Reid said to us, this was one of the first times that Patrick Mahomes ever heard anything negative said about him. And you know what that did? That just motivated him even more. And you saw it first 3 drives, they wind up 3 touchdowns. He winds up with 5 touchdowns on the day, and this team is going to be just as good as we've seen in the past. So we'll see.